Yo, 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 we in the building. This is the Bird of Paradise podcast with your guy Flamingo Fred. We got a very, very special guest in here this evening. I'm gonna let the wonderful Letty introduce herself.
Yes, thank you, Fred. I appreciate you. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much. I am Char Curry, aka Says What She Wants, the number one female advocate for men, but also a sister to women.
Most definitely, that's a beautiful thing. We want to give a quick shout out to the Folded Waffle blog for helping us put this together. But I appreciate you coming on. Hey, I've been we know what you do. A lot of people, for the people that ain't familiar, but this lady light right here has been dropping gems. A huge advocate. Presenting information from the other side of the coin. I started following her and tuning in to what she was talking about. I'm like, man, she got flavor. Come to find out, she from the Bay.
Come on, yeah.
I'm like, and so I started I'm like, okay, it start making sense because that Bay Area and the mouthpiece and everything is
we
different. So it makes sense. So I've been looking forward just to chop it up with you and have you. I really want to tell you I appreciate your communication with a brother. We've been tapping in all along the way. We get busy doing this,
yes.
this, and that, but the communication was A1.
Appreciate you.
So what part of the Bay you from?
I'm from East Palo Alto.
Okay, I got some people out there. Okay, that's what's up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm from EPA. We're from the Gardens.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah. My family in the Fillmore district, that's where, my neck of the woods. My family had business out there, Miss B's, in the Fillmore district and everything like that.
Okay. I love it.
Yeah.
We family now. We family.
Oh man, most definitely. I'm gonna keep tapping in. We're gonna keep putting it together. And you relocated.
Yes. I'm in Vegas now.
Okay, you in Vegas. For some reason I thought you was in Atlanta.
Nope, I was in Atlanta. I was in Atlanta for almost a year, and then I relocated to Vegas not too long ago.
Man, I'm up in Oregon, but I was trying to get to Vegas. Tough.
Yeah. You got to come through.
Oh,
I'm direct.
I'm definitely coming through to Vegas. So be ready for me because Vegas. Because before I left the Bay and I was down in Phoenix, Arizona. So in Phoenix, Arizona, we used to go to LA or Vegas. It ain't nothing but hopping in the car.
That's right, hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah. So what made you go to Vegas? You said you was in Atlanta. What made you go to Vegas?
Right. So there was a business opportunity that presented itself out here. The company moved me out here, and the rest is history. It was an opportunity that, it was a good fit for the family. So yes.
That's beautiful. So what made you really get on the net? I know you've written some books. I've learned about a little bit of your history, but what made you really hop on the net and start dropping these gems?
Yeah, so the reason why I do what I do, honestly, Fred, is because I feel like so many times us as women, we go through so much, right? And we fail to dig out our stuff from childhood trauma, from adolescent years, or from previous partners. So we can have a good man right in front of our face, but we won't be able to see him because we're operating out of a skewed lens of trauma and drama, right? And from past hurt. And so the more I dug out my stuff, the more I saw the things that I was doing, the things that I was saying that wasn't up to par with how I should be. I started to change my ways. The more I searched within myself, that's how I changed. But you have to understand, like, I came from a mother, a grandmother, sisters, and friends that had treated men like, can I say shit?
You can say whatever you want to. We cuss, really, you can yell.
I had really seen them treat men like shit. And I was like, man, then the more I started to look within myself, I was like, oh, I'm doing some of the same stuff. So it was like a pattern. It was like a cycle. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. So I chose to start really changing my ways, how I treat myself, but then how I treat others outside of myself. So that is how I became able to do what I do now, because I looked in the mirror and said, no, this ain't right. I chose to change my ways.
Yeah, most definitely. And I feel like that's what drew me to your channel and some of the stuff that you do, because we're in this time, and I used to do college radio and do different stuff, and I used to do a lot of relationship talk too before this podcast on in this capacity is kind of new, but I was doing college radio for a few years, and I used to talk about relationships and different stuff. and
Yeah.
people were tapped in. I kind of went away from it personally.
Yeah.
But we in this time and age, day and age, there's so many podcasts and different things, and there's so many different factors that's from the OnlyFans to this to that. And I mean, I feel like seeing your content, there's really nobody out there that's really doing what you do as consistently as you doing it. Because I mean, being especially, I don't know if it's everybody else algorithm or what, but I mean, all down my timeline all day, I'm seeing people talking about relationships and this, and that, and they going back and forth, and they got the podcast panel, and it's just like,
Yeah, and you know what? It's very. I see that it's very imbalanced, right? Okay, so you have one side where they're just bashing men, then you have this other side where they might be not bashing men per se, but they're still talking about things from a woman's perspective, being the positive side of things, right? And it's not that there's a, oh, you doing right, you doing wrong. They have to understand that there's a balance when it comes to communication on both parties. So it's not that I'm bashing women. I don't bash women. I never bash women. But what I do know is that men are always at the forefront of the brunt of the attack. Okay, you guys are always being attacked. And it's like, okay, so when are they going to have a safe space? Like, we have magazines, we have blogs, we have Ricky Lake, Tricky Lake, Oprah. We have all these different outlets, but men don't have that. And then let's just say they do get that, and then what happens? They get called soft, they get called weak, they get called simps. They can't display their feelings, and so it ends up being where men are like, man, like, this is, like, who's supposed to be on my side per se, right? Or where's my outlet? But then you have to understand, like, um, I feel like it boils down to the fact that society puts it out there in that manner. Like, the women and girls are coddled, right? But then a man always has to stand up. So then we have this high suicidal rate amongst men.
yeah.
So you can say whatever you want. You can say that I'm bashing, but in reality, I'm literally giving them the blueprint. Okay, this is my book, The Blueprint to a Soul. Like, I'm literally giving them the
And
blueprint.
I'm gonna need a copy of that. I'm gonna
Absolutely,
go.
I got you. I got you. I got you.
I'll pay for it. Everything.
I appreciate you. I will send them to you. So it's like I'm giving them the blueprint, but yet they're so stuck in their ways and so egotistic to where they can't even receive the wisdom because of the delivery.
And I was thinking about this show, you know, and I'm an opinionated person, but I was thinking about this show coming up as we was talking about it, and I wanted to make sure when I came on this show, you know, I look at as you as a person with game, and respect, and like a sister or somebody, and I was gonna kind of sit back and and not overpower with my opinions, but and I was thinking about it too, to kind of be in a vulnerable space to speak on it. You
Yeah.
know, when I was coming up, I'm not perfect. I done lived a different life. You know how the Bay is. I done,
Yep.
lived a different life and been in the
Yep.
streets and bounced back
Listen,
and
the
forth and
ism.
everything.
The
Hey,
ism.
you already know. You feel me? We ain't even we ain't even got to go no further. But my heart was never evil. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And
Yep.
so, when I jumped off the porch, I lived my life or whatever else, and it was like, whatever. But my heart was cool. But I had my first child. And I'm not a cat that had a bunch of kids here or there. I had my first child, and I allowed myself to kind of tone myself down a whole lot.
Yeah.
And when I was in that situation, I felt like everything was flipped and reversed on me. Now, I ain't gonna hop on here saying I'm perfect. Ain't nobody perfect. But
Yeah.
I felt like coming from being a Bay Area cat and letting my guard down to be in this
Yeah.
situation, I was all transparent and honest, but everything as a man was flipped against me till now I'm sitting in a situation like, what's the problem? Like, what's the, you know what I mean? Why you like I'm trying to work with you. We trying to come up. You don't want to do like, and now I see a lot of men in this position. It's like, now you had this baby. Now you married. I was a tiger in the jungle. Now
Come
you
on.
got me over here like a teddy bear,
Come on.
and the same shit that you fell in love with.
Yeah.
You done stripped me all of that. Now I can't do no right.
Yeah. Yeah. So you mean to tell me that you was getting blamed for everything? No
Every
matter what you did, no matter what you did, you was the blame. You was at fault for it.
I'm trying to figure, and trust me, when I done been in a lot of situations and around a whole lot of game, around a whole, around women, and seen all cut this. I done seen a whole lot of shit, and been out and about,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting in this situation now. This new to me, and I'm like, what the fuck is the problem?
Yeah, yeah. Because so you mean to tell me you also told the truth and they said they could handle that said truth, but they really couldn't
Oh,
handle it when it came down to it, right?
baby, this who I am. This what time it is, baby. This
Yeah,
this this. It
yeah,
ain't no
yeah.
secret.
Just tell me the truth. Just tell me the truth.
Ain't no secret, baby. This what it is. This, and that. And matter of fact, I might not be the guy for you. Maybe you should go back and sit on the bench and let me sit out here in the game. And I'll holler at you. You sweet though. No, I want no. Okay, well, let's go.
Yeah, yeah, and couldn't handle it. See, a lot of women bite off more than they can chew when it comes to stuff like that because they want the truth, right? They tell you to tell them the truth, but then when you do tell them the truth, sometimes they even when you tell them the truth, they still think you lying. Some of them can't handle the truth to where they sit up there and they'll know your truth and they'll wait till an argument comes up and they throw it in your face. They'll tell other people about said truth that you told them. And some of them just ain't built for it. You got to understand that a lot of people don't understand that there's such a thing as psychological and emotional intelligence, but also comprehension. You know how we had to take them comprehension tests in school? Like a lot of women nowadays, I'm speaking about the women. Yes, guys go through too. I'm talking to you ladies right now, okay? So don't be trying to disregard yourself. Okay, so what happens is a lot of them can't comprehend properly, and so they sit up there and they keep on trying to go around the mountain with you. It's like you can explain it 1, 2, 3, but they don't have a certain level of psychological intelligence and comprehension. So therefore, they can't understand you. And a lot of guys don't understand that. Like sometimes you're at a certain level and you keep on getting frustrated with her because she ain't there. And so you keep on going around the mountain. You just live out of frustration and misery with that same person when in reality, you don't have to.
Man, and it's crazy because for the first time, I've never really been in a situation, I'm moving around and it's whatever, but for the first time, I'm really locked in, I'm really locked in with you because we got, this and that. And it's just like at first when you first run into somebody, they dotting the I's, they crossing the T's, they doing
Yeah,
this, and
they
that.
got to.
And
They'll
then,
impress you.
all that shit fall apart and it's your fault. Well, you did this, so I ain't, and the whole shit fall apart. Then you sitting there like, and I seen not just me, I seen a lot of gentlemen go through this. Now they backpedaling, trying to
Yeah,
save the family. They
yeah,
backpedaling, trying to save the marriage. And a lot of these gentlemen, like you said, them suicide rate, a lot of these gentlemen
yes,
is out here lost. They done lost the whole family.
yeah. And even the ones that aren't taking themselves out, they end up going towards substances. And I'm not talking about leisurely using them. I'm talking about dependent upon them and actually trying to escape from said reality because they don't want to leave the family because they 9 times out of 10, they don't want to leave them kids. And they sit up there and they suffer day in and day out. And then she don't even have the attentiveness and the psychological, emotional know-how to even check on him. You see what I'm
Because
saying? But
it don't, because it really, and at the end of the day, I feel like it don't matter to check on you. What you gonna do?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But then let her break a fingernail. Let her hair not be done. You better fix it. You better make sure she got what she need emotionally, psychologically, physically, and spiritually, right? That's why I do what I do. Because there's an imbalance.
Man, it's heavy because you there and you in the situation and you like you're backpedaling and you're trying to figure it out and you're trying to do this and that. And I talk to gentlemen all the time. We men, we don't post a lot of shit online, but we sit back and we have conversations, and a lot of person, for a lot of men, once as much as they talk about these deadbeat daddies, I see, and this is something I wanted to talk about before. I see these cats that's really taking care of their kids. These cats is suffering the worst.
Yes, yes, yes. I see it, and I'm telling you, I 9 times out of 10, when you go to the school, like when you see someone picking up or dropping off the kid, 9 times out of 10 it's the fathers. I promise you, I see it every single day, every
Man,
single day.
because you
And
know
let's
that
not
key.
even
Go
go
ahead. I'm
ahead.
sorry.
Let's not even talk about the mothers who act like they like they um like they can't be mothers. Let's not even talk about that, because this is the thing. Like, everybody wants to talk about a deadbeat father, right? Oh, that's such a common like denominator, right? There's a deadbeat father. But what about the mothers who aren't doing what they're supposed to do? What about the mothers who are on drugs, or who are absent emotionally? They may be in house with the children, but they're still gone emotionally, or they putting a man who isn't the father ahead of said children. There's so many dynamics to it. We don't.
You can't even bring that up as a, and that's why I think what you're doing is so powerful, because as a man you can't really bring that up because they gonna twist that into you don't like women or this and that or
Yes,
whatever
yes.
else, and twist it. And then you got to think about it. You in a relationship with a woman, at kind of they expecting you to be the leader, but then when you start trying to lead, and I used to set an example when I was dealing with the woman, have you ever been on a sports team? You know, when I was on a sports team, the coach used to critique and do this and do that and everything else, but we on this team. You feel me? And ultimately he's trying to make me better and we trying to win. So you dealing with a situation that ain't never had that, you
Well,
know.
how you comparing a relationship to a sports team? You know that's what they.
Man, you can't even get that. You can't even get that far.
Yeah,
So on one end, you expect me to lead, but on the other end, you can't say shit.
yeah. But this is the thing. And I tell women all the time, you cannot expect for this man to be your person, to be in a committed connection with him, and you don't listen. You are argumentative. You lazy. Nine times out of 10, the men that actually work outside of the home, they don't even get no home cooked meals. They don't get treated right. They don't get massages. They don't even get physical intimacy. See, we don't want to. Do we want to go there?
Nah, we can go. You can go wherever you want to.
Do we want to
Shit,
go there?
I
Because
pay for this.
listen, I do this every single day, and it's really sickening and it's sad, because then they'll get on my post and say, "Oh, what, I'm supposed to lay down? Oh, I'm supposed to be a slave?" No, but you signed up to be the sole, I call it the sole provider of this man when it comes to that bedroom, and you won't take care of it. So if you don't want him, and I will never condone stepping out of a committed connection, but let's be realistic. If you don't want him stepping outside of that connection, then why don't you take care of it? What is in you that signed up for this man, but now you don't want to hold up your end of the deal?
Man, I think, to be honest with you, and shit that I done seen from a personal level, that should be a power play. You know, we gonna hold out on this.
Oh man, don't.
It be a power play and I never been in that situation in my life, but one time, and that shit was a full power play, and I wasn't even used to it. I'm like, man, look, we ain't trying to gut, but I done had options and living life and
Turn them
whatever else,
down.
and now I'm in this situation, and it's like what's going on. So it's like at this point now what do you do? You know, now
Yeah.
you want, and it's like you in a lose-lose situation. You trying to, and I see this all the time because I'm part of men's groups online. I just be watching what's going on. These men is sitting back, and I know you talk to a ton of people. They sitting back trying to figure it out, trying to break it down, trying to calculate. And the more and more you trying to figure it out and break it down and approach the situation, the more they retreating.
But a lot of that has to do with, and I have said this time and time again, I will never say that social media breaks up relationships or makes them worse. What happens is, said people who are in connection watch certain things and digest certain things on television or when it comes to music that makes their mind corrupt. Okay, that makes them that makes that puts that gets their perception off. Okay, so it's not about social media breaks up relationships. I don't believe that, because it boils down to what kind of person you are, what type of integrity you have, what type of mindset and perspective you have, right? But I will say this: a lot of women, they think that they're supposed to live Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion lifestyle, when in reality, that's they don't understand. They can't separate entertainment from their real life. Like, that's entertainment. Y'all don't understand. Those are entertainers. That's for your entertainment. That's not like real life stuff, right? So what they do is they have this false expectation of what their man is supposed to do, what their man is supposed to be like. They look at movies, they think they're supposed to have this fairy tale life, when that's their acting. That's not reality. How about you live in your reality and focus on your relationship or your person? But it's yeah, that's another thing where they compare their lives and their relationships to things online and music, and they set themselves up for failure every single time.
Yeah,
That's not real.
it's like, I've seen, men in these situations, and I even seen myself, and um and I've seen memes and different stuff that people share, that, a man will sit back and be absolutely miserable. You know,
Yes.
he hopping online, looking at porno. He trying to find every way he can to just get himself over the hump, and keep it going, and will be
Yeah.
absolutely miserable and thug it out in the situation. Whereas, you take this lady, as soon as she, like, let you tell your woman you don't feel like being intimate repeatedly,
Yeah. Yeah.
you go your whole life gonna fall apart.
Yeah. Because you cheating now. You definitely gonna be told that you cheating after that.
And whatever else. So it's just, and then it's, I don't even know how to describe it. And so, you see this stuff, and you know when you just coming off the porch, you really not thinking about it as a man. You're not really thinking about this, but you start seeing how life goes for these women, and how age progresses and whatever else, and they you get to a point in life where they figure out, damn, I was listening to Cardi B, now I'm over here trying to figure it out.
Now I'm a cat lady and a dog mom. You know what I say to it? Oh well. Oh well.
But they not gonna realize that till it get to a certain point. But when you had this situation, because I mean, I talk to a lot of men. There's a lot of eligible men. They say making six figures doing this. There's a lot of men I know out here that's making bank, making six figures doing this, and that. And they like, I'm good. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
have fun
Yeah.
and go back home to my peace and privacy. I'm good.
Yep. Yeah. Because now is the, and let's just say this. Let's just be realistic, because we come from the ism, y'all. We from the Bay, right? So it they paying for it now, and then they going back home to their six figures and their home, and their good career or their businesses, and they're not dealing with a lot of women out here. So that's the thing. Like, a lot of ladies, they don't understand. Like, you losing because you have a good man right in front of you, but at the end of the day, you ain't even dealt with your stuff enough to see it. So he could be meeting 90% of your criteria, and that 10%, that's what you're gonna focus on. So that's the other thing. They'll sit up there and focus on the stuff that you don't do instead of the stuff that you do, to where they get lost in it. It's like, okay, so don't say nothing when Bonnie or Chrissy or somebody comes snatch him up, and you be like, oh well, nah, you wasn't doing what you were supposed to do, or else she could have never got him in the first place. I'm just
Man,
saying.
I see a lot of gentlemen, they will, and that's what. And I before, I used to think that was silly, but now, as coming into a man that's starting to, everything's coming together a certain way. Now I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm not mad at them. They going out and they spending their little money, and
Yeah.
doing whatever else and having their fun, and they coming back home, to
Peaceful.
peace and quiet,
Peace.
or they going to pick up their kids on their weekends. You
Yep.
know what I
Yep.
mean? And then drop them kids off on them kid-free weekends. They in Vegas and over here and over there, or they calling up, and
Yeah.
now I feel like that's scary for women, because you're gonna get to that point where you're gonna really need a man.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, that's the thing. And this is the thing that I keep I've been saying this for years, Fred. And it's like, men don't need much. cook a little, clean a little, suck them, fuck them. I mean, like, be there to be quiet and know when to shut the fuck up. That's basically all men need: some loyalty and some respect, right? Okay,
Hey,
so if we break down those things compared to every single thing that a woman needs, come on, man. It's not that hard, ladies. Y'all make it hard. Y'all make it hard. Once you start to do your work inside of yourself, like once you start to dig out your shit, then you'll be able to see, like, damn, I really can shut up. Damn, I really, ladies, have some self-control with your mouth. I tell them the number one thing, the number one reason why men leave is because of your mouth, and they think I'm crazy. No, it is because of your mouth, because they get tired of hearing your mouth nagging, gripping, grabbing, complaining. But then you won't do the right thing with your mouth. On the flip side of that, girl, get. I'm.
man, you know what I used to tell people, and this, just my observation. I used to tell, and I tell people now, a woman most times can't whoop you physically. She ain't gonna be able to whoop you physically, but she will whoop your ass mentally and emotionally. And so, you dealing with a man, in men together, men will joke and do this, and that, but it's a certain point where it's crossing a line. Now you dealing with a man in a household or whatever the situation may be, and you just crossing a line
Yeah.
and saying anything, doing it, and all talking to him any kind of way, talking to him loud, and
Come on.
everything else. And
No.
a lot of times, if that was a man, two men in a situation, it would be a problem.
Yeah, yeah. But see, and I'm glad you said that, because that's the thing. I talk to them about catering to him. And so you want to be soft, you want to be sensual, you want to make sure you got yourself up to par. You want to make sure you're looking good, smelling good, feeling good. You want to make sure the environment in the home is peaceful, but that starts within yourself. Like, I could never have that with my person if I haven't built my joy, my peace, and my freedom within myself first. So a lot of women, they don't know themselves, so they're grasping at all these fictitious things as far as who they really are. And if they would just really get to know themselves, they would become soft again. They would become feminine again. They would be realistic as far as what a woman is supposed to be like. And so it's like when they see me, like, oh, well, even some of the men, they be like, oh, well, you cuss. Oh, well, God didn't send you. This ain't, God didn't do this because. But on the flip side of that, you have to understand where I came from. I had to fend for myself. So I basically raised myself from a young age, right? So I had to take myself out of certain ways and be soft and be feminine and know how to be quiet and know how to just hold him, know how to massage, be so attentive to where I know exactly what he needs. And then you kind of like, a lot of women don't know how to quiet their spirit and dial it back.
Well, you got to look at the certain surroundings and the upbringing, and different
Yep.
things like that. Which, like I said, when you hopping off the porch and you a young man and you trying to party and touch something and do this and do that, you're not really thinking about that. But when you get to a certain point where you thinking about, I want to build my family.
Yeah.
I want to do this and that. Now we talking about legacy. We talking about this
There you
and
go.
that.
Yeah.
Who can I get to come in here and fill this role? Because I spent a lot of my life without my mother around, but you know what? I had my grandmother around, Miss B, that raised me. You know what I mean? And she from the South in Arkansas. So as wild as we was in the Bay Area and roaming around, I still had that grandma and grandpa up in me, and they was country from the South. So grandma come to serve food, she getting granddaddy his plate.
That's right. That's right.
Grandma has 6 kids. She had, grandma, you had these kids. She went and had a baby and came back to work and had these 6 kids and raised them in the household and this and that. So as much as I was seeing this Bay Area, I still was seeing granny in the household. So now you grow older and it's like, I mean, some of the things that I seen was just be, and I know I ain't telling you nothing, but some of this shit I be seeing is downright, unbelievable.
Yes, it is. And this is the thing. You see how you just explained how grandmama held granddad down, held the kids down, held the house down, and still work. These women don't, nowadays, these quote unquote women, they don't even have the know-how and the staying power to even do that. What happens is most of 9 times out of 10, the man is doing all of that. But then when he gets down, when he gets sick, or he goes into a depressive state, she doesn't even know how to keep the whole family afloat like how he did. So a lot of these women, they'll sit up there and they'll criticize a man, or they'll leave a man and kick him when he's down, but they haven't even learned or have enough knowledge and wisdom to pay so much attention and learn what he's doing. So that way, if something happens to him, God forbid, that they could run the ship. See what I'm saying?
Most dead, because granddaddy got sick. My grandparents came from the
Come
South.
on, come
Miss
on.
B, they built a whole empire, over, millions, or however the exact amount was. Granddaddy got sick. He had, got Parkinson's. So he stopped moving and even talking like that. My grandmother took care of him to the day he was gone. And my grandmother was so cold, she's passed now, but she was still following what he had told her, and he wasn't here no more.
Come on.
She said, don't,
legacy.
Granny had the house. Grandma said, my granddaddy told her, don't let nobody get you out from under this house. Grandma was still following the game plan when he was gone.
See, because she has staying power. These women nowadays, they say they independent, but they want a man to pay their bills. They want to date y'all for your wallets and your pockets and your bank account instead of having anything going for themselves. And then the minute you don't got it, to splurge on them. It ain't even got to be a need. It could be just a want. The minute you ain't got it, to splurge on them, oh, you this, you that. They go into the internet, sending subliminals. They talking bad about you behind your back. Then what happens when you get a good woman, though? They be trying to crawl back and come. No, baby, you thought the grass gone over there. Bye, Felicia. You thought the grass was green, remember?
Man. And I see this big thing now, and I know you see it. They like, everybody's having this discussion about 50-50. I feel like as a man, you're supposed to provide and have leadership. And I don't want to debate what y'all feel about how the finances are supposed to go. But what I'm going to say is, when in history did when in history did women not work? And especially black women, when in history was you not working?
Yeah.
From sharecropping, because my grandparents came from the South. They were sharecropping.
Come on.
When was y'all not working? Even in the white community, when was y'all not working? You was working the land, whether you was in Oklahoma, wherever you was at. When was y'all not working?
Yeah.
That was maybe the rich people or what. When was y'all not working?
Yeah, but see, they don't want to go back to the historical standpoint of things. A lot of them don't, and this is on men and women's side. On as far as our culture is concerned, right? They don't like to go back and look at it historically. A lot of them don't even know the history and the background, the ancestry, and the culture, right? So when it comes to that, it's like, and I tell everybody, whatever works for you and your person, so and then we're talking about 50-50. We're talking about 50-50 financially. We're talking about 50-50 emotionally, spiritually. Like, so there's so many different layers and levels to it, right? But what happens is they like I said, they see this stuff on TV and in music. They think they're supposed to run with it, when in reality, look at the economy right now. Some people having to work 2 and 3 jobs just to be able to stay afloat. So let's talk about the economy and times and how things have changed. But also, I wanna say this. Black men, we love you. We love you. We are not against you. Anybody that says that to y'all, or if that's what y'all, if I understand, on the flip side, I understand why some men say that, because some black men have only ever dated black women. So of course, any type of atrocious event that happened to them having to deal with the black woman, they're going to maybe feel that type of way, right? But we're not against you. We love y'all for real. Like, and ladies, if y'all seeing this right now, stop tearing down black men. Stop tearing down men, but stop tearing down black men for real, because they're not against us and we are not against y'all. What happened was society put this out there, and a lot of y'all podcasters and relationship gurus, y'all just out there and put this crap out there, and it's not the truth. We're not against y'all. Y'all not against us. I have to say that, because and ladies, learn how to apologize and take accountability, like, for real. Because I do this day in and day out, right? And it hurts me to the core when I see a man on my post saying, well, that's just black women that do that. No, it's not. It's across the board. I deal with cultures all across the world.
Fred. I dated every flavor, and let me tell you, it ain't just a black people thing. I done dated every flavor. Yeah. Being in the Bay Area and just being a out there individual.
Yeah. So yeah, I really have to put that out there, and to the black men who have experienced trauma and drama and heartache and pain at the hands of a black woman, I apologize personally for that, because it's unacceptable, but it doesn't it's unnecessary. Seriously, we are not against y'all. Y'all are not against us. We love y'all.
Most definitely. There's a couple things I want to bring up. How do you feel about, what Kevin Samuels was doing, you know what I mean, when he was alive?
You know
And
what's funny? Go ahead.
and maybe his teachings and how he did things, and because that was kind of a monumental thing, just like what you're doing is a monumental thing, you know what I mean, and we're gonna put people up on game, and shout out to everybody tuning in. What you're doing is a monumental thing, and what Kevin Samuels was doing, I feel like, was a monumental thing, whether you agree with everything or not, because it was something that we need, that we didn't realize we needed, because it's chaos out here, you know
Yeah.
what I mean. So how do you feel about what he was doing, and comparing your notes?
It's funny because they call me the female Kevin Samuels. Like they've been calling me that. They've been calling me that for years, right? But what's even funnier is that I've only ever seen like 5 or 6 clips of his stuff. I've never even I don't even know, like, to a certain degree, like what he even did. I've seen a couple of clips and that was it. But I do know that when I posted like rest in peace Kevin Samuels, like the day he died, like people was like, oh my gosh, like what did. So it's like they had a certain hate for him, but I do realize that, me being a truth teller, us truth tellers, we always are going to get backlash, but I was built for this. I was born for this. You know what I mean? So it doesn't really make me no never mind. I don't care what they say about me. That says what she wants, hence the name, right?
Mhm.
But the stuff that I did see from him, some of it was comedy, some of it was truth, real talk, you know what I mean? So I just saw someone that was speaking their truth, who was being real raw and in your face, and I appreciate truth and I appreciate rawness. And so anything that I've seen, hey, it is what it is. Like that's what he did, and he helped a lot of people while he was here, right, from my understanding. So
Yeah.
yeah, but they've been calling me the female Kevin Samuels for years, years, years.
But and I think why he helps so much is because, depending on your background, or depending on what, no one has really ever pulled men or women aside. Back in the day, I felt like, you used to have a community around you,
Yeah.
and when you got out of pocket, you know, granddaddy or your daddy gonna pull you aside and tell you this, and that. And when
Yeah.
you got out of pocket, your mama was gonna pull you aside and be like, hey, baby, this
Yeah.
man whoopty whoopty whoop, you need to check yourself. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's lacking. So now when you bring in these people like yourself and whatever, it brings that voice in, and okay, it's rules and regulations to
Right.
how this thing should go. So,
Right.
we in a day and age, everybody want a man that's making 6 figures and doing this and doing that. But you was with Eddie, then you was with Paulie and this cat. You got these kids you
Mm-hmm.
coming with, and this
Mm-hmm.
and that, and you making all these demands. You know what I mean? He was basically saying, why should he mess with you?
Right. Right. But even just to add on to that, the 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 aspect of the grandmas and the aunties and the older uncles and all that being around and rallying around the young ones and mentoring them and showing them, oh no, go this way, no, molding them, right, go this way. It's like as time goes on, it has been, I feel like the older generations have been watered down to a certain degree, to where they flow along with the ways of society instead of sticking to the game, right? Because we were corrected. Okay, you were speaking, you speak when spoken to, and you were veered in certain ways and molded in certain ways, right? But now it's like you have the older ones and they competing with the younger ones, right? They want to be online twerking just like little 19-year-old Keisha. You feel me? So it's like, okay, you make it make sense, y'all. But so there's this cultural water down, okay? And people are lost, and people don't like to be told the truth. So because they're always living in a false reality, they're living a lie, so they don't like truth. So that's part of the issue. A lot of people don't like truth, and when you don't like truth, nobody can correct you because you think you know everything.
And you know what's scary? I don't personally have a sister, you know, And that's just the way. I got brothers though. I don't personally have a sister, and a lot of women think you talking down on them, or you this and that. But if I had a sister, this would be the game I was giving them, because men and women mature at different points. So while Miss Lady, while you out here doing this and that, and this fuck the world and whatever else, this and that, you gonna get to this point where what do you do now? You kind of got yourself cornered in. Where I see these men will be 50, 60, 65, this and that. Uncle Tony got some money in his pocket,
Thriving.
and he having the
Yep.
time of his month. He having the
Looking
time of his
good, smelling
life.
good,
Smelling
traveling.
cool water. They love OGs. He having the
Yeah.
time of his life. And the woman the same age would be over here stressed out, but she wasn't trying to
Broke
hear it.
down. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing where it's like people have to understand, it's like you don't you don't arrive overnight. So it's like, as much as he's got a lot of older men, they do have their stuff together, right? And then the ones like you're talking about, the like older women, what happens is they sit up there and they be stressing, they be in everybody's business. So you do have some women that take care of themselves and they good, you know what I mean? But I tell everybody all the time, they be like, oh, well, you don't look 44. I say, because I mind my business. I drink water, I eat my fruits and vegetables, and I don't mess with people, right? So that's the thing. The way you look on the outside, it's about your mindset and your perspective too. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, it's like it's a lot to do with mental wellness, like your peace and your joy and your freedom. If you let people penetrate that, or if you're not keeping that up to par, then of course on the outside you're gonna look old, you're gonna look stressed out, you're gonna look a little decrepit. So ladies, get yourself together and stop drinking soda and eating so many crab legs. Learn how to drink water.
Yeah. What do you feel about?
I'm serious. I'm so serious when I say.
Nah, you right. That sugar and
I'm
all
so
that extra.
listen. I keep it on me like I keep my 40 on me. I do.
Hey,
Ladies, drink water. Okay, drink
most
water.
most definitely. You look great. You know. What do you feel about a lot of these men now? They like, man, get your passport. A lot of men now, they like, man, get your passport. We going over here with, this and
Yeah,
that in this country, where
yeah,
they putting family, first, and they
yeah.
appreciate you. They appreciate. How do you feel about that? Because and ladies, I don't know if y'all in these conversations, but I'm talking to these gentlemen. They like, oh, well, I done got my money up. I was over here trying to make it happen with Beverly, and the family. That didn't
Beverly.
work. Hey, that didn't work. You feel me? I'm six figures now.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
about to take my talents, abroad.
Yeah. So and I've heard of passport bros and all that good stuff, but I always say to each their own, you know what I mean? But you have not dated every single woman in, on this side of the land. So there are still good women left on the soil. Okay. There are still good women left on the soil. But like I said, to each their own. And I understand where they're coming from. And you have to understand that even though, you know, it's like I wasn't born abroad, I still have those certain gestures when it comes to that. I was raised by my great grandparents, right?
Mm.
So there was a lot that I learned by being raised by them, but there was a lot of stuff that I had to unlearn when it came to like my sisters, my mother, my grand, like there were certain things, right? So I'm gonna say this: I feel like there are still good women left on the soil, but a lot of men, they're swaying along with the ways of society, what society is putting out there as far as passport bros, and so they're going abroad. And like I said, more power to them. I still feel like, don't count out the women that are still here, because a lot of the time, honestly, Fred, it be the geographical location of said person. So you
Mm-hmm.
may have dated a lot of people in your town, but then you move somewhere else, or you go somewhere else, you date online, and you go meet somebody, like, there's things that happen like that as well. But I would say a lot of times what happens is geographical location. So it may be the women in your area that you're like, oh, I want to date them because I grew up here. I've been living here for
Mm-hmm.
years. I don't care to date any of them, and that's fine. But I would say, travel around a little bit over here where the soil is. I know a lot of good women. I'm about to start
Yeah,
a dating show. I'm about to start
you
a dating show.
should, cause
I
I'm
am.
and how I'm gonna put this. I'm sure you seen the Kendra dating show.
I have not. I don't watch
Okay.
TV. I don't.
You
Yeah.
right. Well, Kendra, she got a dating show, and
Mhm.
she a lovely, black woman. She got a dating show, and I'm sure she means well. And she was on the Kevin Samuels show, and Kevin Samuels was giving her some game once upon a time. But I feel like her show has just kind of gotten lawless.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like I've heard of that name, but listen, if they said, "Hey, point her out," are you gonna? I wouldn't know what you look like. That's how much I don't. Yeah,
And
I
that's a
don't.
beautiful, that's a beautiful thing because it has to in this day and age. I feel like, and I got tired. I could be on the net doing. I thought about dating the show. I could be on the net doing it too. But for me, I feel like I want to do my own wave and be a hippie and whatever else I'm doing. That's
Yeah,
just my
yeah,
journey. But it has to be when you was first coming up and you was coming off the porch and you was hearing people talk and this is how it should be and this and that, you thought it was corny. But when you really come to a point and these people, you out here having these children, you know what I mean? It got to be a certain way that
yeah,
shit got to go.
yeah,
Now,
yeah,
if you ain't got no kids and every weekend you in the boom boom room,
yeah.
hey, that's on you. But when you
Right.
start having these kids and this and that and everything else, I feel like it got to be some rules and regulations to how this is going. Cause man, I be on the net and I been see she done over here. She had the baby over here with this person. Now she over here with this person. She done had a baby over here. Now
Yeah,
she with a woman. Now she back over here with Tino and then you know what I mean. And it's like,
yep,
God damn,
yep,
where are the kids at?
yep. To and fro, to and fro. And you see, that's the thing. Like, and I understand. Like, that's one of the fears of fathers. Be like they be stuck between a rock and a hard place because they be want to save their family so that way they could raise their kids properly. But then you got her over here doing all this other stuff. So it's like, man, do I stay or should I go? Like, do I leave and take my kids? Like, you know what I mean? So a lot of men stay because they don't want to have to deal with that type of stuff. But then you got these women out here running rampant and they're not taking accountability for their actions. They're really
Man,
not.
let
Then
me
you got the family
go ahead.
agreeing with them.
Yeah, oh, I'll get you.
See?
Hey, let me testify. They will have your kids around anybody. You
Yes,
like,
yes, yes.
and then you'll try to say something and give us some input. The family and man, they will have your kids around anybody at the after hours joint eating flats. What you wondering where everybody at now? Now you the crazy
Oh
baby.
my
That where
goodness.
is my
Yep, yep,
being
yep,
an active father? This because
yes,
I was
yes.
gonna make a video that y'all they love deadbeat daddies, but when you active and why
Mm,
is my baby
mm,
over here at the after hours joint eating flats?
yeah,
Then you crazy.
yep. That's my baby. What you gonna tell? How you gonna tell me what to do with my baby? That's what you gonna get. That's what you gonna get.
So they
Yep.
and so how now you got a baby here, you got a baby. How are you managing this to raise these children to go forward and be the next generation? That's why this shit be so. I
Yeah. It's
mean, it's
watered
just
down.
wild.
Yeah, yeah. It's watered down, and it's a lot of chaos and detriment going on with these kids. And then you wonder why they growing up and they going to school and they doing drugs, they selling drugs, they shooting, they like it's traumatic things there are traumatic things that have happened to them that have shaped them like that. But then even so, the parents still don't want to take responsibility for their children, even after that. So,
And
it's a
and,
lot. It's a
and
lot.
so like I said, then you have these men and looking at it as me as a man. You like, okay, I'm on path, I'm running my game up, I'm making this move, I'm making that move. Why would I even want to involve myself, or why would I want to gamble on you?
Yeah. Ooh.
Why would I want to
Ooh.
gamble on you? Because right now you saying this and you saying that, and why would I want to gamble on you? I don't put it all together. I'm
Yep.
having motion. I'm doing it.
Yep.
I'm up here. I'm over here. I'm over there. I'm on the you know what I mean. I'm on the
Yep.
podcast with Char. I'm why
Yep.
why would I
Yep.
want to gamble on you?
and they didn't even help you build none of it. They wouldn't help you. They wouldn't support you. They wouldn't lift a finger. They wouldn't do no invoice, no paperwork. But then what happens, and I talk about this a lot. The women nowadays, they want the amenities that go with you, but they don't want you. They don't want to help you build. They don't want to help you create. They don't want to support you. They want to tear you down, but then think that they're supposed to gain something when you actually make it.
Hey, I have, I have seen it. You're in a situation and you're dealing with somebody and they questioning your knowledge, they questioning it, you questioning that, they questioning and giving you a hard time, they running their mouth, not knowing what they talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you get what I'm saying? And this is what you dealing with on a daily basis. So
Yeah.
ladies, when you running into this man now, you wonder why all he did was touch that thing and went on his way.
Yep. Yep.
You wondering why he ain't, really ain't locking in.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's the thing that a lot of women think that men don't know what type of caliber of woman that you are. Baby, they already know. They already know whether they're gonna stay with you for 5 seconds or whether they're gonna build with you for 5 or more years like that. They already know. Like y'all be the ones lost. Like ladies, for real, like y'all, a lot of y'all be the ones lost. Talk about you a real woman, you an independent woman, you do this and you do that. And then once you get, let me just say this too, because once they get a good man, what happens is they pull them in, they reel them in. Oh, I cook, I clean, I suck, I fuck, I do all this, right? But then once they get them, once they hook them in, then they stop doing most of those things or all of those things, and they start treating men different. Their attitude changes, and so this is the other thing that causes women to lose good men is the switch up game. Okay, they act in one way, they got that mask on in the beginning, and then they still don't know who they are, so they still figure themselves out. And so what happens is you get the representative, right? You get the woman that she wants to show up as, because that's what she thinks that you're expecting of her. But then once she lock your ass in, she gonna start drawing back and pulling back. She gonna start pulling back from all of those things that she was doing, because she don't know who she is yet. She don't have no staying power within herself. Guys, make sure that she knows herself. Make sure that she knows her purpose before you lay down with her and start to really commit to her for real. Seriously.
I think for a man, it ain't really no way of telling, and that's why it's a lot of men out here lost and doing this, because it ain't no way of telling. You done met her, she didn't have no kids, she was doing this, she was doing that, and you watched her turn into the motherfucking Riddler from Batman
The
all of a sudden
monster.
one day, and you like, what, you don't, what the fuck, what? And then it's in the motherfucker for a spin, and men, we all sexual creatures, but men, we like physical things. We see booty on the internet, we see this, of course we gonna look. But I think a lot of women are get thrown off because I see a lot of them all day. It's a selfie every day, it's a selfie every day, it's a pose every day, it's every day. Man, once a man really start moving and grooving or whatever else, he gonna want to, as a man, he gonna want to do something to you. But what's happening past that? And you done ran out of magic trick, you done ran out of tricks, because he like it, but what's happening past that?
And that goes back to the psychological and emotional intelligence that I talked about. A lot of these women don't have it. They ain't got it because society is dumbing them down. Music is dumbing them down. Reality TV is dumbing them down. They can't think for themselves. A lot of these women out here, they can't think for themselves. They really don't. They really can't. Whatever the next meme is, whatever the next reality show is, whatever and you guys also please pay attention to the type of music she listens to. Pay attention to what she looks at on TV, because 9 times out of 10, and this is the thing, like a lot of people don't understand, Fred, is that it gets into your psyche. Certain things, I'm very mindful of what I watch, what I listen to. That's why I say I don't watch TV. It's been over 10 years since I had a TV in my room. I don't listen to certain music. I don't watch certain show. I don't look at reality TV, because I have to be very mindful about my spirit because of what I do. God called me to this. This is my purpose. So I can't just be watching anything, listening to anything. Don't work that way. When you are serious about your purpose and your assignment, you are very careful with your spirit. So ladies, guys, you have to understand, if she doesn't know what her purpose is in life, have a good day. Have a good day, because she's gonna be steadily obsessed and focused on what you're doing, and she gonna stop you from completing set assignments and your purpose, because she don't know who she is and she don't know what her purpose is yet.
And when you a real motherfucker, it's excuse my language, but
You good?
when you a real motherfucker, I spent a lot of my time in my life in a relationship,
Yeah.
long, years with this part, years. I spent a lot of my time. But and the motherfucker, I had a saying, you let somebody paint a wall, they gonna start feeling like they built the house.
Mm.
You let somebody paint a wall, they gonna start feeling like they built the house, And a motherfucker, I done been in situations where, they start crediting your abilities to them being there.
Yes.
Which,
Yes.
of course, the right person, right, this and that, whatever is supposed to help boost you up. But it really took me to fall back a little bit and like, let me do this. Let me show your ass, let me do
Yeah.
something. Let me do this.
Yeah.
And really fall back and start doing shit to, a lot of these motherfuckers start doing shit, amazing shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Solo. Now he over there
Yeah.
and he over there in Thailand off his laptop, you know what I mean, doing him and
Living life, enjoying life, being peaceful, being joyful, being free. And you know what? They can't stand that. When she knows that she was with you and she made you miserable, she can't stand when you level up and you really do your internal work and you heal from all the drama and the bullshit that she done put you. They can't stand it. They cannot stand it. They'll
well,
try to ruin you even though they ain't with you no more.
man, the big thing is we from the Bay. I grew up in the Bay Area, but I came up north to Oregon, and there's a big sensitivity up here. And there's a big victim thing. And don't get me wrong, to anybody that has been through some terrible things in life where somebody hurt you, I'm sorry and I apologize. That's not what we preaching. But these other situations where you start engaging with somebody and this happened to them and this happened and this happened and this happened and that's cool. But now all of a sudden you in the situation, you locked in. Now you start being the person that's causing all these things to said person.
Yep. Yep.
Now all them problems that you heard about, all that shit that was happening, all that shit you heard about,
Yep.
now you the cause of all that.
Of course, because they gotta have somebody to blame.
And the scary part about it is, if you tell yourself something enough, anybody, man or woman, if you tell yourself something enough, everybody against me. Oh, these men want to. If you tell yourself something enough, you're going to start to believe it. And there's people out here really living their everyday life, believing all kinds of sorts of Harry Potter shit.
Yeah, because that's the thing I tell people all, and it boils down to, again, mindset and perspective and what you believe. Because at the end of the day, it's like you can create with the words that you speak. You can create things into the atmosphere. Like, I have the life I have because I spoke it into myself. You know what I mean? And so a lot of people don't understand, like, the more you woe is me, or I'm the victim, or they did this, they did this, they did this, the more you keep yourself stuck in that cycle. I know, because I used to be that person. I was the complainer, I was the worrier, I was the blamer. Okay. So that's how I kept myself bound, if you will. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, when you start to do your work, you start to look in that mirror, you start to really speak things into yourself and into the atmosphere and into your life and into your future, your life will change. It will. It really will.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you a Thundercat coming off the porch, and I always say this, you looking at stuff differently. I done seen as much as toxic positivity, where somebody is, you meet somebody and they, oh, I'm having a blessed day, beautiful day, and they saying all these positive things, and then it's like they putting all this negative on. I mean, you can't even explain. This shit is
energy don't lie.
Stanley Kubrick motherfucking mind fuck, like, baby, what baby, what?
You saying one thing, but then your body and your life is going a whole different direction. Come on.
fun, physically, this, that, fun, chilling, cool, freaky, all this shit, and then snapped in the motherfucking kazoo from the Flintstones.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you like, where am I?
Yeah. Who are you? Wait, who are you? Who sent you?
So, it's crazy. I don't have all the answers, but I know on my end, you have to have people come together to have, a better society.
Yeah. And this is the thing, like, we got to be truthful. You got to be truthful with yourself. You got to be truthful with others. But a lot of people don't understand. They be like, why don't they just tell the truth? Because they lying to themselves. That's why. So a lot of people that don't live out their own reality just be lying to themselves. So therefore, you're never going to get the truth out of them. You're never going to see the real them until they really look inside themselves and find themselves.
Man, I was spending so much time, like I said, my show, I was spending so much time, and I commend you. I was spending so much time trying to figure it out and get to the bottom of it and preach and make sense. And I would say all the time, I'm not perfect. I'm not on here preaching that I'm perfect, but I'm working every day, and I think I'm realistic in looking at myself and logical, as a man. But it's like, I couldn't. It was so consuming that it's like you can't get to the bottom of this shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? And honestly, I don't feel like we'll ever get to the bottom of it because we're still living day to day, like everyday life, right? And I feel like a lot of times people just have to be realistic with where they are and live out that moment. You know what I mean? A lot of times people try to make sense of stuff, and it's like, how about you just live your life and go along with your journey? Hey, if you're not doing nothing illegal, you're not hurting nobody, live your life the way you want it to. And this is the other thing I want to say this, because this is something I'm really big on. Stop worrying about what other people think. A lot of people say, like, well, I have to worry about what other people. No, you don't. Like that'll keep you in a constant state of anxiety and panic and walking on eggshells and make you depressed and make you compare yourself to other people. Stop worrying about what other people think. Do self-talk. Look yourself in the mirror and talk about how good you are. Talk about how good your life is and how grateful you are. When you be grateful like that, and when you talk positive things into the atmosphere and about yourself and about other people, like you change your life. And a lot of people, they be stuck on what other people think about them. Hey, what other people think about me is none of my business, Fred. It's none of my business. That's how I became free, by not worrying about what other people thought. I used to have very bad social anxiety, panic attacks. Once I taught myself how to get out of that cycle, that's when I started living a life of freedom.
Yeah, hey, man, you see me, Flamingo Fred, when I was
Come
like,
on.
hey, Flamingo Fred, they was asking me all kind of different questions. I had to remind them, no, baby, it's still Fred. I like women, I like this, and that, but I had to do, that Bay Area, I had to do me. So,
Yeah.
they think, oh, you doing it for attention, you doing it for that. Not, nah, man, this is a spirit inside of me that just make me want to be this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I don't want to hold you. I mean, because I'll talk to you all night. You know what I mean? I'll talk to you till the sun come up. I don't want to hold you. But I definitely appreciate you tapping in. It's been even outside the podcast, it's just been a beautiful thing to talk to you. And we not gonna stop here. This is just breaking the ice. We're gonna keep going,
Yes.
and we gonna keep this thing going and connect. And we gonna
Absolutely.
keep it going and keep that connection.
Yeah, we're gonna put something together. I
Oh
appreciate you.
yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. Y'all follow me at Says What She Wants on all across all platforms. SaysWhatSheWants.com. The merch is out now. The Get the Fuck Out of Here sweatshirts, the hats, and everything is coming. So also, I got 4 books for men and the women. We got 2 journals here. So you guys make sure you support and believe in yourself. Don't let people, don't believe what other people say about you. Say what you say about yourself.
Beautiful, beautiful. I appreciate you coming on. Keep that connection. Your boy gonna holler at you off wax, and we gonna keep it going. I'm gonna be in Vegas before long. So
Come
much
on.
love to you.
We gonna get it together. All right. I appreciate you.
Off
Bye,
top.
y'all.
Bye bye.